You know, I literally wrote the book on this, and I haven't talked about it on this channel. So today, we're going to chat a little bit about community building, because the thing that they don't tell you is that once you have a community built, well, you've just gotten started. Back in March, I wrote up the Learn to Play kit. It was a way to get stores started with bulk because we didn't have unlimited sets yet. We didn't have reprints. Nobody could get anything, but there was plenty of commons around. So I created this thing, this fun little booklet that shows people how to do bulk decks, that gives people these little hero guides. And this is kind of where my kind of claim to fame in Flesh and Blood has been. There are many fewer people who know this channel than they know me for this. And it's been a very humbling experience. But one of the things I realized is I've never really talked about this on this channel. I've never really shared the things that I've learned over time with this. I just kind of introduce the kit and then send people on their way. So this time, for today, special to this channel, I'm going to open what I expect to be my very final box of Everfest that I open. And share some of the things that I've learned in the last year-ish of trying to build a community. And there's been some stuff that is definitely not here, and I've definitely not talked about. And there's a little bit more complication to it than I expected. So join me for this. Join me as we open a box. And I'm going to share some of my tricks of more advanced community building when you've kind of already got the community. Now what, right? Anyway, we'll get to that stuff in just a sec. Today, beer of the day, the Backroad Oatmeal Stout, coming from Millstream Brewing Company out in, I don't know, Iowa. We're going to see if this is heaven or if it's Iowa. That's what we're going to do. I'm bringing out the old Yeti glass because it's a stout, so you bring out the Yeti glass for it. But yeah, so the Learn to Play kit, I worked with Fabled Hunters and Critical Games and Hobbies and a lot of other people to get bulk decks and get community started. And I've helped many people kind of figure out how to talk to stores and build those communities up. And once you've got that, once you have the stores in, next is you actually got to build the player base. And that's kind of the harder part to do, especially when you have one that's already established, because then it's not people jumping on something new. It's people getting ingrained into something that is already there, and they're just trying to find their way into it. And that's a much trickier thing. It was really easy to say, hey, try this new thing. We're trying to build a community. And people will be like, hey, that sounds like something that would be interesting. Let's give it a shot, whatnot. It's a much easier conversation to have because it really is a trial run. Now Flesh and Blood has proven themselves. They've proven themselves in an incredible way. And there are people who have seen it, people who have established a stigma around it, stores who have made their decisions on it. And now you're saying this isn't just a product that's new and you come see how it is. It's, we know this is good and we want to invite you to it. That's a bit of a different conversation. So I want to share some of the things that I've learned talking to players and, more importantly, talking to stores. And I've got some extra tricks up my sleeve. These are things that I'm going to probably not publish when I finally do my Wraith Times review. Anyway, let's try this thing and then we're going to crack a box. That's Iowa. It's Iowa. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great, though. It's not spectacular. Whatever. It's Iowa. Oatmeal Stout. Everfest. Gonna flip the camera. Oh my god. We're gonna flip the camera. We're gonna open this, and I'll share some advanced community building tips. So, see you in a sec. So you're probably looking at the screen saying, wait a second, is that the tablecloth that local game stores get? Why the heck do you have one? Because it's on loan to me because I'm actually doing a Learn to Play event at a brewery, and we're going to talk about that. These things are actually, one, they're very well done. They are really nice in quality, but they have one really fatal freaking flaw, and I don't know why whoever made these did this, okay? These are about 6 feet wide, and again, beautiful, beautiful, rich in color and all that stuff. I'm gonna fold this over. They freaking seamed it in the corners. They sewed it in the corners. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, because now I'm stuck at whatever this size is. This should have just been a rectangle that wasn't seamed. Like, now if I don't have a 6 foot by whatever the hell foot table, this thing doesn't fit on it, and it's goofy. So it's either I gotta cut this, which I'm really thrilled to do, or I need to just not use it. Don't, LSS guys, I love you, but don't do this. Don't sew your corner. Don't force me to have a table size. All right, that's my little rant. Other than that, these things are beautiful, and they feel wonderful. And there we go. Now, we've got cheap-ass Costco scissors, and we've got a box of Everfest. That's what we're doing. Oh, you know what? We should also get sleeves, because I'm really good at pulling fables from this set. I've gotten 3. 1 I pulled on a live stream on this channel. The other 2 I got from prize packs at armory events. Yes, I actually play this game sometimes. I really want to play it more, but that's just not in the cards for the next couple of months. Makes me real sad. Anyway, so we're going to crack this bad boy open. I'm going to have another sip of Iowa. That's just what we're going to call this. We're calling this Iowa. Iowa. I'm still going to slow roll this. Not like slow. I'm just not going to do the uber fast thing that you can do where you just take the last 3 packs. Eep. They're also real slick. But you know what? I figure I've got enough flesh and blood on the screen, so we're just going to... Flesh and blood. There's no confusion as to what this is. Anyway, here we go. But yes, so community building. First things first before we talk about it. If you don't know the Learn to Play kit, if you're trying to build a community, please check out the Learn to Play kit. I'm not even going to be humble about this. This thing has been a rock star for hundreds of stores, if not close to 1,000. That might be pushing it, but it has definitely brought in thousands of players, if not more. It has definitely created tens of thousands of decks. I'm very, very proud of this thing. Inside of it gives you access to rules, so you can see where the rules are. You got deck lists, bulk deck lists for all of the main sets, none of the supplemental sets. You've got some neat things for Tales of Aria, so you can actually do one for each element. And also these little half-page guides, so that way you can print them out and give them to new players, so they can kind of get a feel for the hero that they're trying and kind of understand their tricks before they dive in. Big fan of this thing. I actually have a couple things I want to do with it, but check it out. It's been around for about a year. It is definitely battle tested. That is an adjective I'm using for Genesis, by the way. Full disclosure, I am still rocking out the Genesis stuff. I'm their marketing strategist, and I might do a little content. I do want to revisit the game. But anyway, that's the Learn to Play kit. Yeah, so the idea is that you bring it to stores, right? When we first started this adventure, the plan was you go to a store and you tell them, you know, hey, if you're not into Flesh and Blood, I would love to run a Learn to Play event. So instead of, and I think I could bring this closer now. You guys have seen the big thing. So instead of, a store needing to take the risk on their own and try to get product for something that people might not want to buy, you bring in bulk, you bring in people, and you let the new people who try out the game basically go to the store and say, yes, we are interested, we would like to buy this. And it's, oh, did I screw up? I totally screwed up my pack trick. I have a pack trick for this, and I didn't do it. That's okay. Slice and dice, shrill, high striker, nothing big on this one anyway. So yeah, you take the concern out of the store to say, I need to deal with the distributors and whatnot and get myself into Flesh and Blood, and it might not even sell. Instead, you do a bulk Learn to Play thing from what you have, and then they're covered. They basically go off scot-free. So top card to the bottom. And it worked great. It was wonderful. One of the challenges that I had, however, it was great for when you had stores that were fairly separated. That was where it was nice. Release the tension to start. Bare fangs. Talisman of creation. Nothing else. However, once the stores were established, and this was the issue that I had, is that suddenly I've got stores in the area, and I'm no longer just dealing with trying to build a community. I'm dealing with the competition and the loyalty to a specific store. Oh, man. Noble intentions, right? You think, hey, I just want to build a game, and I want to bring people in the... game, and then it gets real bad real quick when you start learning about like store loyalties, and it stops being as simple as, aren't we just players playing a game? It's like, no, you're players for store one playing a game for store one, and don't talk about store two. Stuff like that. That was a surprise that I wasn't really thrilled about. But there are ways around that. But ooh, hello. Oh, busted. Microprocessor is busted. Just going to put that out there. It's so good in Datadol. It's better than any +1 intellect crap that people were thinking. It makes Shiana so much fun. I want to do microprocessor with Gorganian Tome and Ravenous Rabbles, and just stack the Gorganian Tome all the time. And just do Ravenous. I think it'd be so much fun. High Roller, Amulet of Ignition. Cool. So yeah, when you get to a point where you actually have multiple stores in your area that have communities going, they have their audience. And now you have the problem of, well, there's loyalty to those stores. How do you build a community? How do you say, I want to run something in store A when store A really just wants growth in store A? They don't want B or C. They don't want any of these other stores to help out. How do you grow? And one of the things I kind of learned is, one, you sort of go along with it. You kind of just accept, hey, Runic Reclamation, add another Majestic, Macho Grande, smashing good time. It's not only you just go along with it, you give them the event if they want one, but I have started to learn to play in neutral ground. I did the coaxing last November. It was great. Neutral ground. It took over Left Hand Brewery, and I got to have multiple stores come in and say, if you want to be in partnership with this event, you are here, but because we are not at any given store, this loyalty crap doesn't work. We are actively trying to build a community, trying to build new players without getting them sucked into, but you need to be store A's player. And I don't want to talk about store B, because it kind of screws over others. Nothing in that one. Because some stores aren't as big as others, right? We've got one that operates out of a house. It's really hard to do a learn to play there. Whereas I got another store that's about as big as a bookshop. I can easily do that. That store's going to win, and the scales are going to, it's not going to be distributed evenly. So if that's a problem that you have, I strongly recommend you start partnering up with restaurants, coffee shops, in my case, breweries, which is what I'm doing on Wednesday. We'd love to do a Learn to Play event there. And then I'm going to go to all those stores and say, I'm doing a Learn to Play event here, and you can tap into some of the new audience that we're getting by partnering with me. And that's it. And if they don't want to, whatever, they might get some people anyway. T-Bone, Blade Runner, Healing Potion. They might get some of that traffic anyway, but at least you as the community builder get to build the community on your own terms. And that is something that I have learned you don't always get to do once the store is established. You don't get to build on your own terms anymore. So find neutral ground as best as you can. I think it's one of the best things that you can do. Fractal replication. Rudy's mat, and it's gorgeous, and I am getting one, and I don't care. Life of the party. Okay, fine. It is the life of the party. Boom. Oops. There we go. So yeah, if that's an issue you're having with the store, neutral grounds. Simple as that. The other thing that I'm starting to learn is that not all stores are equal. Now that's kind of a duh. That's a duh. But there are two kinds of stores that I've learned. One, the stores that are passion projects, and two, the stores that are businesses. And there's a weird line between the two. The stores that are super passionate are going to be the ones that are giving away like way too much prize support. They're the ones who are giving away boxes for super cheap. They're normally great until they're not. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then you have the ones who are just pure businesses. Then you have the ones that are pure businesses. They are, here we go. They're the ones who are, trying to keep things as, not stingy per se. Stingy is a bad word, but kind of as close to what the normal is. You got to find a balance between those. I have a couple stores that are so passionate that they basically run events for free and give away product for free. And it's kind of hard to appreciate. It's kind of hard to want to show up to those because it doesn't feel like there's anything actually at stake because everyone's just kind of showing up. It just doesn't, it feels weird, honestly. It's almost like it's not taken seriously. Just because it's like, oh yeah, you're here, whatever, play some stuff, I'll give you some things. Off you go. Whereas when you've got the ones that are treating it a little bit more as a business, they're wanting to make sure that people are coming back. There are stakes for them. They are coming back. People are coming back and spending money, and it's part of the business model. And I like that. I prefer that. You get a better relationship with customers that way. Not that you can't have one or the other. Not that people who are giving away way too much for free is a bad thing. But it's It's hard to grow those. Honestly, it's a little harder to grow for some weird reason because you don't get them invested in the stuff that actually takes work. Yeah, an armory event is great. That's cute and all, but then you gotta start getting into skirmish. Then we want to start doing playtesting. Then you have the people who actually want to get serious about the game, and that store is just focused on getting a couple people in so they can have their armory and not do anything else. And it's not as much fun. It's strangely more difficult than the person who's charging for the armory and keeping things a little bit closer to what LSS suggests. I'm gonna take a minute. Let's just see what we get. 100 wins. Thunderquake. Ooh, it's a foily. It's a foily. It looks like an item, though. It looks like an item. And it's an amulet of assertiveness. All right. That's okay. I'll be okay. So, anyway, when it comes to partnering with those stores, one of the things that I've learned also is those ones that are kind of giving away product are more likely going to be the ones that help you partner to get neutral ground. And they're usually also not going to feel bad about, you're not taking customers away, but you are growing them in a different location. And they're going to be the ones who are like, yeah, I'm happy to throw some things in. I'm happy to help you out. You set up what you want to set up, and then just kind of keep us top of mind. I like that relationship. And that's what I would rather use those for than, hey, everybody, you should show up to this business that is giving away things for free. Oddly, it doesn't work in practice. It just kind of doesn't. It's weird. It's real weird. That being said, there is a balance. High roller, seismic stir. Pick a card, any card. Man, there's just been kind of nothing in the final box here. My final box here. So I like finding a balance between the two. The business guys, like I said, there is some skin in the game, so they take a lot more pride in their turnouts. They take a lot more pride in... They take the right kind of pride in your turnouts. If it's a store that's giving away stuff for free and they still can't get turnouts, you feel a lot worse. Shatter coming in. Because it's like, well, you're giving stuff away for free. Naturally, people should show up. And it's not really that simple, right? It's $5, $10. The issue isn't that people don't want to show up. That could be a time thing. That could be... There's more than just giving it away for free. There is. And I like it better that way. They're a little bit more serious. You get the people who really want to be there, people who really want to grow. I think when you get in games like Flesh and Blood, it's not just a bunch of people who just kind of want to show up and waste a couple hours. Yeah, you get a few of those, but... Ooh, hello, Crown. Crown of Reflection. But again, it's all about taking the environment seriously. And I think that when you have the people who are a little bit more business-focused, you get a better experience out of that. That being said, the needle can swing way too far in business also. The business-minded, we've actually turned down a couple of stores. I've said I am not putting effort into your community because you are all about just using us for wallets. And if you find stores that... Talisman of Featherfoot. There's my 2 cold foils. It's not that attractive. It's not that much fun. So if you have the ones that are actually just trying to use you as wallets for more wallets, leave if you can. Find a competitor. Find a neighboring store and be like, we don't necessarily like how we're being treated over here. We would love to maybe work with you and get a community in. And I'm not even going to be sorry about that. I know that might be spicy for some people, but I don't care. There's enough stores out there. There's enough of a market. It's no secret how to do things right and how to do things wrong. Like I said, we had a store that was literally like, you're just bringing in wallets to bring more wallets. They wouldn't even do signups for pre-release. Cash out foil. Nice. And a bingo. Hello. Hey, that's neat. That's a good one. It's a good pack. They wouldn't even do signups for pre-release because it just wasn't worth his time. He's like, I don't get paid to do that. You know what? Go away. Go away. Not worth the time. So yeah, those are kind of some extra little things as you're looking at bad beats, Talisman of Balance, nothing special. As you're kind of looking at the world out there of, I want to grow my community a little bit more. I've got my community established already. Consider doing learn to plays at neutral ground. Partner up with multiple stores at once as opposed to try to get one store to redo it, to do another learn to play. Just because it might be a little bit harder to connect the communities, connect the stores together. You get into that, I play at store A, so I'm not going to do any events at store B, even though they're on different nights. That everybody grows together. Go on neutral ground if you can. I've that plan has been working a little bit better. When it comes to the stores, if you have the ones that are just giving things so much away for free, and they're getting low turnout still, the issue isn't the cost, and they need to understand that. Maybe it's the time. Maybe it's the format. Maybe there's something else that you can do to get people in there, but don't think that giving things away for free is going to get people in the door. It doesn't. It's not sustainable. It's harder to really take it seriously because you just don't have to care. And I don't like playing with people who just don't care. And if you didn't pay anything, if there's nothing at stake, why care? And it makes for the event just kind of sucks at that point. Whereas the business-minded guys, if you find the business-minded guys a little bit too heavy on the business, too much of the, I want to make sure that you buy things and whatnot. I'm setting my prices based on market value, like 100% market value. Stay away. Hey, Try Shots. I might give Try Shot a shot. I might. But stay away from those. Find competitors. Be like, hey, this store is really just abusing this market. We don't really want to be a part of that. And there you go. Get back on learn to plays. Get back on good environments. Maintain positivity and whatnot as we roll into this final pack. Those are some extra tips that I've learned as we've gone through this. Now that we have ourselves one heck of a community. Hey, we end on a Revel in Runeblood. Reek, and even better than that. So all things considered, this is a little sad. I mean, I definitely like the cold foils, though. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty solid, though. Can't complain about 9 Majestics. Revel, Tri-Shot, Cash Out, Bingo, Crown of Reflection, Shatter, Fractal Replication, Runic, and the Microprocessor Good Old Data Doll. So that ends my box. That ends my day. That ends the Everfest journey for a while. Like I said, I don't plan on opening any more boxes. I don't really need anything. Yes, I could go after Starvo, but I don't want to get locked up in feeling like I need to collect all of these sets. Then I just start spending money I don't want to spend. But yeah. Anyway, what other community building tricks have you guys, issues have you come up with or ideas that you have once you have a community that's already established? I would love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all of my patrons who helped me out. I will see you next time.